Hello everyone, 1776 worldwide, death to the New World Order. I came across a video of a social worker, I don't know what state she's in, um, that was saying that she needs to report uh, those that are immigrants, uh, what their status, their uh, citizenship status, uh, to have them watched and monitored by ICE, which is, I believe, is kind of okay um, with the technology that we know they have and exist, uh, with facial tracking recognition and biometric frequencies and remote neural monitoring and stingrays and being in their phones and the extreme vetting that was done under Biden administration and now the Trump administration with them coming through the border legally. They should already know who they are. And with the FISA uh, warrantless surveillance done through Bill 702, aka the Patriot Act, off branch of the Patriot Act, they already know who they are. They got Department of Homeland Security watching them, so they say, and Department of Justice and Department the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So we should know that they already know who they are. Under Donald J. Trump said that we know where they are. We're strategically doing, keeping tabs on them. They're actually going to go in and deport them. And I believe that, and this is not going to be popular with a lot of you, that those are illegal. They do need to be deported. They should be given the opportunity to come back into the country legally. If they have nothing to hide, then they should be given a chance to come to the border legally, to be able to seek asylum from a socialist country or a Islamic regime that suppresses their freedom to be able to have a freedom of religion, to be able to have freedom of speech, to be able to identify whatever gender they want to identify themselves as. Because if you were in a Muslim country, they would kill you, throw you off of a roof, or burn you in a cage alive, or hang you, or decapitate you. So those individuals that want to have that liberty and freedom to be able to have free will, a God-given free will to be who you want to be in this beautiful country we call the land of America, give them the opportunity to come into the border legally. But those who are in here to have malicious intent, like ISIS, Hamas, MS-13, or the Mexican Mafia, or the cartels, or the Ruskies, or anyone that has any ill will towards the American people, or wants to try to erase our history, or anyone that wants to destroy our Christian values, those that are Christian, those that want to push their agenda on the American people, I think they need to be deported. If they have that radical ideology, they need to move on to their country, go back to their country, and protest to have their ideologies and their homeland with their people, not our people. We have our own beliefs. So I know that statement and what I just disclosed is probably going to get me unfollowed and unfriended. But we are in perilous times and we need to make a stand. I'm all for those to have their own right to religion. I'm all for those to have their right to believe in whatever they want to believe in, whether it be from Christians all the way down to Satanists. I mean, God gave us free will. Who am I to argue with God? If you want to live in the homosexual lifestyle, then that's your God-given right. I may not agree with it, but as an individual, I will, I will stand next to you. I will try to show you another way. That my own personal belief, like your personal belief, is to be of the LGBTQ plus community. I am a Christian, so I have Christian background, Christian indoctrination, biblical beliefs. Jesus Christ believes that he spoke, that he gave to us as Christians, to give you a hope, to show that to you that you are born perfectly and wonderfully made the way you are. There's nothing wrong with how you're made. I believe that women that think they're meant to be men, that you have a gift that men do not have. You have a gift to give life. That is a special, sacred gift that no man with a pair of, with a male member and the boys that follow, that hang below, that you have a gift to be able to give life. That is the most sacred gift that a human being can give. So my belief is, why would you want to deter away, to steer from that? You have a gift of compassion. You have a gift of being a foundation, a rock, and in the human realm and the flesh realm for a male. And the male role, I believe, men, you are made the way you are to be a protector, a provider, for beautiful women who are able to give birth to our children. But that's my own personal belief. I do believe that we are each created the way the one true creator, whoever you want to call creator, I call him Adonai, created you to be. You're beautifully and wonderfully made. So don't ever forget that. But I want to share this video, and we can discuss it afterwards. But I do believe that we are in the last days for the Build Back Better, as Biden called it, the Great Reset, as the deep state, shadow elite. They're not even hiding anymore. They're no longer deep state. They are the World Economic Forum. They are NATO. They are the United Nations. They are the Bilderberg groups, George Soros, the Rockefellers, the Warren Buffetts, the Billy Gates, that are into eugenics, transhumanisms, that believe in depopulation, which is what eugenics is, that we are overpopulated and we need to be eradicated to get the population down to a lower level of population on the earth. So without further ado, I present to you a whistleblower, and just pray for that protection over her, that she keeps her job, that she's able to help those out. But I'll discuss why this is important. I'm going to come back.
I work in social services, and my job wants me to do Nazi shit, and I can't do it. And I will probably get fired for this video. I can't afford to. I'm going to end up homeless, but they are asking me to do things that I cannot morally do. I was just on medical leave for almost 6 weeks. I returned to work yesterday, and when I did, I learned that I am now expected to run a citizenship verification on the applications that we receive. We are a non-reporting agency, but now I am expected to run this check on every application, which means if I get an application from a person who is an undocumented person, or a person who is in any way like not a US citizen, like they might be an immigrant or a lawful permanent resident, I am now tying whatever information they've given us to a system where the information is handed over to the frozen people. My state is already very famously working very closely with them. And we also now have a contract with the Blue Star Country. My state also just outlawed homelessness. And a couple of months ago, we put into effect changes to work requirements for SNAP. So now homeless people are no longer considered an exemption from being able-bodied without dependents. People that are homeless, a lot of them already do work, but if you don't have a job when you become homeless, it can be very difficult to find one. A lot of people don't have their documents. A lot of people don't have clothes. A lot of people don't have access to hygiene. A lot of people don't have transportation. They don't have a fucking permanent address. These are things that will keep you from getting a job. And now people that are homeless are not considered exempt from the work requirements. So they lose their SNAP benefits. If they have 3 months out of a 36-month rolling period where they don't work the minimum amount of hours. And what happened is when that went into effect, there were people who are working now, but are still underpaid. So they were receiving a little bit of SNAP, but they had 2 or 3 months in the past when the 36-month window started. And those months they weren't working. And so they got penalized for those months in retrospect. They didn't get penalized at the time because they were considered exempt at the time. But then they got penalized once I can't do it. I talked to 3 people in 1 week who were living in vehicles, all of them women. One of them schizophrenic. One of them was an elderly person. And another was a person who lost their housing because they had an emergency surgery where they were not able to work, and they can't get food. I went on my leave shortly after that because I was actively just wanting to kill myself because I couldn't handle what I was being expected to do and say to people in order to keep my job. so that I myself don't end up homeless, which is now illegal in my state. Illegal, punishable by fine, and then by jail time. In my state, which is working closely with ICE and also has a huge private prison network. I can't do it. I cannot be the person that is responsible for clicking a button that sends them to somebody's front door or their children's school or their job. I cannot do that. I haven't run a single one of those yet because I just went back yesterday and I'm supposed to have a few days of training. I can't do it. I can't. And yet if I lose my job, I am fucked. I am fucked. I think it's important to talk about it. I think it's important for people to say, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I can't.
Okay, we're back. Now I want to discuss that video, which I think is important, is because just like when COVID hit, there had, if you remember correctly, we need essential workers. You need in Australia, in China, in the UK. I don't know about Ireland. I believe it was also Ireland that you had to have working papers, essential workers papers. Definitely in Australia, definitely in the UK. I believe in France as well. I could be mistaken. But in America, we call it essential workers. I got a video of the mayor or the governor of California who threatened to shut down businesses that did not comply with the mandates that they had for COVID. That they would shut down the water supply and fine them, shut down their businesses. No, my point is with this, what they did with that. Like my family members worked for the state. I'm not going to say what they did, but they had an ultimatum to either take the jab or lose their job. And for some of them, for two of them, they love their job. They love who they worked with, and they decided to take the world's medicine for a major virus that was supposed to be worse than a bubonic plague. And unfortunately, those who resisted and said, I'm not taking that magical elixir that's supposed to help us and keep us safe, they were let go and relieved of their duties. And I know that those that did take the magical elixir, that they need to fill the position of those who were in that position of power in the higher levels. So that opens up the position need to be filled, and they moved in those who were down with the New World Order, down with the magical elixir, down with the rules and regulations of Big Brother, that wanted to be compliant, that wanted to be bootlickers, that wanted to show that they were they're woke, and they were essential, which was the trick. Because we know that no government cares about their people. Some do, but no one is special. We are all expendable, no matter what position of power you hold, whether it be a special agent, whether it be a governor or a mayor. We are all expendable, and we know that from history. But those people that did take the magical elixir, they moved into that position of power. Now we're going to fast forward a couple years later, that it said, oh, it's okay, you didn't take the magical elixir, we'll hire you, come on in. So there was no longer a mandate that those that didn't take the magical elixir, they were able to work with us, work with those that were woke, that took the magical elixir. So those that are now in power above anyone else, and the strategic points of power, position of power, are those that are EMT workers, firefighters, police officers, sheriffs, state troopers, whatever alphabet agency they're in, governors, doctors, lawyers, judges, um, uh, CEO of companies, managers, whatever you want to call them. They are now the ones who are the shot callers for whatever industry they're in, no matter what field of operation they're in. And now they're able to make their laws, make their moves, and now they're redoing it again. History is repeating itself. As that young lady disclosed in a video we just watched, and she's afraid that you're going to lose her job. And I don't know what state she's in. I'm going to try looking that up for you guys. What state is illegal to be homeless in? I'm going to go on a limb and say it's probably Washington or California, possibly maybe even Texas or even New York. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's one of them. But my point is that like that young lady had the fear of, and which is a very good reason to have that fear of, that she will lose her position, her employment status, and will end up being homeless, and they will be arresting the homeless, or finding them, or both, more than likely arresting them, and having them put inside jails, and that they're going to be rolling in with more people that are down with that ideology. Oh yeah, we can implement those that are not vetted, those that are not documented, those that are not, who knows if the next outbreak, what the next COVID scam is going to be, it's going to be a real virus this time, something more serious than the common flu or an altered flu. We'll get into that in another video. That the next vaccine that comes out, those that are not down with it, those are down with it, be in position of power, and there ain't gonna be no one left to join them. So we're living in the Great Reset, the Build Back Better, the Agenda 2030, as Donald Trump calls it, the Golden Age. And those people that are MAGA, that are for Donald Trump, I was for Donald Trump, but I believe he's been tainted, that was being blackmailed. My personal belief is that he's been on Epstein Island at least one time. Whether he did anything with children or underage children, teenagers, is yet to be determined. I hope that he didn't, but I believe that he did go on that island at least one time, and that's what the blackmail that the elite have on him and Bibi has on him, to push us into war, to be able to say, that it was a democratic hoax, and that we need to disregard the victims. When his wife came out and said, that she wants to set up a task force to investigation and to have hearings and take in statements from the victims of Epstein files. But the reason being I say that is because he is taking us to war. So if his definition of a golden age is us being in war, is complete madness. And for him to allow Bibi to become a warmonger, for threats that have been made against Israel and America since I was a kid. Same threats, death to America, burn the American flag, since I was a kid. I'm 43. The reason why I believe that the elites or the Epstein files did not show Donald Trump being implemented clearly in the Epstein files is because if they were to show burden of proof of Donald J. Trump on Lolita Express, that would mean that the files would have to be opened on the Democrats that were on that Epstein Island, the celebrities that were on Epstein Island, and the elite that were on Epstein Island. And they figured, you know what? Nothing to do what you gotta do. We'll call it conspiracy theory, and we'll just say that it's partial truths. as a conspiracy theory, but we're going to keep him in our pocket, and we're going to be able to control him behind the scenes. So that's why I got that conclusion. I hope this is enlightening to some people. Do with it what you will. Share it with your friends. And let's work together to sound the alarm. We are the modern day Paul Revere's. No matter if we get ostracized, made fun of, isolated, you have a job to do. We have a job to do. I have a job to do. And if you're a Christian, we are one in Christ. We have one body. We are the church, not a building. We are the church. You have a specific function in that body, whether it be a finger, an arm, a tongue, a mouth, a nose, an ear, an eye, a brain. You have a function. You have your destiny. I have mine. We all have different functions in that body. Some may be prayer warriors, some may be actual warriors that go out to the battlefield. But the most important ones, I believe, are those on their hands and knees daily that pray without ceasing all the time. And I thank you for those TIs and those Christians that are out there that are listening to this. One or two of you that may be listening, that you pray for us that are in the battle. That Christ will come back soon for us before things really get worse. He is coming back. I pray that we all repent, even our enemies, and turn to Christ, no matter who you are. God bless you all. 1776 worldwide. That's in the world order. Peace.